Arm Wrestling Federation. The federation is led by its president, Mr. Charles Osei-Sibe. Mr. President, we're here to pay a courtesy call on you and to let you know about the successes the federation has had at the African Games and also on the global stage and how they're making Ghana proud. So without wasting more time, I would call upon Mr. Charles Osei-Sibe to introduce your delegation and to present your positive message.
Thank you very much. Your Excellency, thank you very much for receiving us this afternoon. A broadcast journalist. I'm the Secretary for the Sports Writers Association of Ghana. But on this occasion, I come here as the President for Ghana Arm Wrestling, President for Africa Arm Wrestling, and Vice President of the world. With me is the Vice President of the Ghana Arm Wrestling Federation in Africa, Dr. Akufo-Addo Ejekum. Next to him is DCOP, Lady Dankwa of the Ghana Police Service. Next is Mr. Godfrey William Amatefu, who is a board member of the Ghana Arm Wrestling Federation. Next is Coach Husseini Ade. He is the trainer of the team and the head referee for Africa. He's the only African that serves on the World Referees Panel. Next is a double gold medalist during the Africa Games. She also went to the World Championship and placed fifth. She's Abeka Nunu. Yes, please. After Abeka Nunu is Mabel Yeboah. She also won gold medal at the just ended African Games. And then the captain of the side, David Asamoah, who also works with the Ghana Immigration Service. He's Mr. Asamoah Yamwa of the Ghana Immigration Service. And then the world champion, Grace Minta. She's the only female or the only Ghanaian to have become a world champion, not just in arm wrestling, but over the last 30 years. Nobody has gone to a world championship and become a world champion. Grace Minta works with the Ghana Police Service, and she recently went to Moldova and won a gold medal for the country. Next is Godwin Saki. He also won 1 gold and 1 silver during the last Africa Games. He also was at the World Championship. So, Your Excellency, these are just the core team of the Golden Arms. We have come here to pay a courtesy call on you. Thank you very much.
So, Madam Chief of Staff, Mr. President and members of the Arm Wrestling Federation, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Jubilee House, the seat of Ghana's presidency. Well, let me take the opportunity immediately to congratulate our champion, the gold medalist. Well done. Congratulations. Until the Games, the All-Africa Games, I had no idea that arm wrestling was a sport here in Ghana. I followed your exploits in the newspapers, and that's when I discovered that you existed, and not only that you existed, but that your people were very good at the sport. So that's a big feather in your cap as the president of the federation, in being able to groom all of these people to excel in this sport. It's very encouraging, and it's all very good for encouraging, apart from soccer, other sports in Ghana, for us to be able to, And we have a coach who's a member of the World Referees Panel. The young man on your left, his father was a very famous boxing referee. I thought that is what he had also become. I didn't realize he's with there. Father's my uncle. Yeah, very, very famous referee. Yeah. Anyway, you're all of you, Coach, all of you are to be congratulated. You're lifting high the banner of Ghana, and we have all to support you. And I don't know what arrangements, Mr. Minister, you have been making to provide the government support, but you'll have an opportunity to speak about that in a minute. But I want to welcome you all very warmly here and to see that the country is very proud of your exploits and what you have been doing.
Your Excellency, thank you. Just before the Honorable Minister comes in, I just want to say some few words. I am particularly happy with the support the Minister has given us since he took office. We started this in 2016. It's been very difficult for us. But even when people didn't believe that arm wrestling could win medals for Ghana, the Minister, when I engaged him, he asked me whether I was sure. I told him that if you give me one athlete, I'll give you one gold medal. He asked whether I was sure. I said yes. And he had to call his team to insist that they enter arm wrestling in the Africa Games. First, it started as a demonstration sport, but he insisted it becomes a competitive sport. Beyond that, Your Excellency, when I was contesting for the Africa Arm Wrestling President, he led me through the foreign affairs, and we spoke to a number of our missions in Africa, and they ensured that I go into contest with an Egyptian and a Nigerian, and I won. What particularly makes me happy is that he called me and said, "My president, we don't have money." He gave me his personal money to support me to become the president of Africa. So, Your Excellency, I thank you for the support and the kind of minister you have given us. In the Africa Games, there was a meeting at Pediasi. When we started, it was bad, but he called me and I assured him that when arm wrestling starts playing, we'll win the medals. By the time we won 8 medals, he drove from Pediasi to Legon in less than 20 minutes to come and support us. By the end of the Africa Games, arm wrestling had won 41 medals out of the 69 Ghana won. And we just want to thank you. The tables we got, for me, is a legacy we cherish so much. So, Your Excellency, we are happy, but what we will seek in moving forward is a plan for 2027 Africa Games. If we'll be able to win more medals, then we should begin to prepare this team. If they were able to win 41, if we continue to prepare them, in 2027 we should be able to win same or more for Ghana. So, Your Excellency, before the minister comes in, we will plead with you, if it is possible, we will need a training center. Beyond the training center, because I am also the president of Africa Arm Wrestling Federation, and one of the things Minister told me when I met him, that it was government's policy to ensure Ghanaians get onto bigger positions or offices on the continent. Your Excellency, I would also appreciate if we can set up the office of the Africa Arm Wrestling Federation in Ghana so that we can continue to keep this position and continue to develop our athletes and get young men and women off the street to play sports and get it lucrative for them. Thank you very much.
Among all the sporting disciplines that we are going to give them space to work on, whilst we are working to convert the facility to a university for sports for development, just last week, the Ghana Swimming Federation held a competition. About 20 countries participated, and the recommendation that we got from the participants, the participation country, was so high about the facilities that we have there. So with the facilities that we have put in at Botiman, there's no doubt at all that we'll be able to give them a space for training. I've also asked him, once he has gotten the opportunity to be at the world stage, to work with the World Federation to ensure that the arm wrestling becomes part of the Olympic sports. And when I had the opportunity of visiting Paris during the Olympic Games, we engaged the Olympic federations, and they are working on that as well. So these are the things that we are doing. And per your directive, not only him, the Paralympic, for example, we supported them to also get the presidency of the Africa, and also rugby, Africa. So during your tenure, we have gotten a lot of Ghanaians to occupy high position in Africa, so that to give us opportunity to develop the various sports that we have. Thank you so much, Mr. President.
Your Excellency, it was my campaign promise. Currently, is headquartered in Egypt, And I have the support of the board to move it to Accra. They have been here severally and they like the place. So I have the support of the board to move it. Once we get a facility, the headquarters comes to Accra.
Okay. And the Egyptians participated in this decision?
Well, we have one Egyptian on the board.
Okay.
And it's a 9-member board, and I've lobbied all of them already. All of them want us to have the headquarters in Accra.
Okay. It'd be good if the Egyptian agrees as well. Make things much easier.
Well, he can do anything. I am the president, Your Excellency.
It's so fine.
And once I take,
But nevertheless,
I will be
nevertheless,
Sure.
yes. If you can also go along with the majority, it would make good sense. Well, this is excellent. But tell me, what is the genesis? When, you talked about the association being formed in 2016, and before that, the sport itself had grown here in Ghana?
So, Your Excellency, as a journalist, I was working with Happy FM. So I went around as an events person, global media, and I was doing the sports in the community. Before then, I had served on Ghana Athletics. I had served on weightlifting board. I took the weightlifting team to Morocco to win 15 medals for Ghana, unprecedented. I had served Ghana basketball, and I had also done women football. So I asked myself what I could do to, influence or challenge the youth. I looked at tug of war and other disciplines, but I took a decision on arm wrestling, and
because arm wrestling had been something that
very traditional.
Oh, I see.
Very traditional and popular. I mean, back in the days, it was the only way within the community or school you determine who the strongest was.
Okay.
So I took advantage of that and then started building the team. Currently, we have an academy in the Bukom area. The same person handles it. And in the last 3 years, we have done a program with GES. We call it Kids Arm Wrestling. We move around the whole country. That's how come we got a team to represent us in the Africa Games. So the team is there, and I feel that if we continue to work with the academy, we would be able to go into Egypt during the Africa Games and win some more medals.
That's excellent. So, Mr. Minister, you have a big responsibility to make sure that the facilities and also the support, somewhere in your budget, you find this facilities and support for this organization. They're already being a very big credit to the country. So I think everybody would understand it if government was to put its full weight behind it. But I think that it's an excellent initiative that you've undertaken, and that we should also find our way to be able to give you the necessary support. Unfortunately, my time in this seat is short. But I'm hoping that whoever succeeds me in this seat will continue what we're about to begin. And our champion, Madam.
Please come and present your medal to His Excellency. Your Excellency, with your permission, she would present the World Championship medal.
Congratulations. That's good. Well done.
Very nice picture.
Yes, you can.
Oh, you want to battle? Thank you.
Not at all.
Oh, police woman.
Thank you.
Yes, yes, yes.